you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Welcome back, everybody. I promised you more Supreme Leader Kylo Ren content, and that is exactly what I'm bringing you today. This is the first of two videos. This is the Heir to the Dark Side Galactic Ascension event, unlocking the ultimate ability for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Once again, this footage is courtesy of Jitsu Jet. He is the very first person in the world to unlock Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. He provided the footage for me yesterday, some more footage today. He has been amazing. He's helped me out in the past, even before this, so I can't thank him enough. Huge shout out to Jitsu Jet, excuse me. He's been amazing, so thank you, thank you, thank you. This is, so again, moving on, this is tier 4 through 6. We saw tiers 1 through 3 yesterday. The consensus was tier 3 is awful, so that's the rock, paper, scissors, essentially, game mechanic that I don't know why they thought it was a good idea. I've seen nobody that actually likes it. It's a complete bust. But for those of you who did not like that, tiers 4 through 6 are more traditional gameplay. It's Supreme Leader Kylo Ren versus Rey. That's a setup I think we can all support. I kind of like how they went about this with this event here. The problem is the difficulty, and you'll see what I mean here very shortly. So tier 4 though was not that bad. So let's get into tier 4. You are forced to use a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren lead. And so yesterday we looked at like Hux and crew. You can't do that. So any of those ideas, those are off the table. It's got to be Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. This has two new mechanics. So the first is, what's it called? Blanking for a second. Memory. Rey gets memory for, I believe, each turn she takes. She gets 1 stack of memory. That gives her 5% defense, 5% crit avoidance. Once she gets up to 10 stacks, she takes 50% less damage. So when she gets up to 10 stacks, that's like game over pretty much. Unless you've just got her right on the verge, you're not going to do much damage to her. But again, here in tier 4, not too much of a problem. On offense, we get an ability that makes you untargetable. You can't be killed for 1 turn, and we will do plus 50% damage for the 1 turn. So it does kind of give up the turn to do that. So honestly, I'm not sure if it's the greatest ability in the world, but that's what you have on offense. You could possibly use it to increase your burst damage for a single turn. Might be useful because of how Rey works, but it's not, honestly, it's not as good as the memory buff Rey gets, at least in my opinion. Because that's something you don't have to wait. She doesn't have to waste a turn to actually get. But anyways, that was tier 4. On to tier 5. This is where things start to get a little more difficult here. He has relic level 5 Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. In tier 4 was actually a relic level 4 he was using, by the way. But First Order Special Forces TIE Pilot is relic level 3. The other 2 characters are relic level 7. And the strategy that I really like the best here is stunning Resistance Hero, Poe, and Finn. Resistance Hero, Poe, Resistance Hero, Finn. Let's get their names right. Okay. Stun them on the side. Don't actually attack them, just control them. Then go after Rey, burst her down, then go back and defeat Poe and Finn. And the reason that I really like that is because whenever Rey falls below 60% health, actually 60% health, she unlocks her Whirlwind ability for the next turn. That's just going to wipe anybody out except for Supreme Leader Kylo. Does 99,999, maybe basically 100k damage 3 times. So yeah, that's wiping out anybody's. And so if you go after Finn and Poe first, you're going to take them below that 60% health. She'll get Whirlwind. She's going to get Whirlwind from using her own abilities here to take her health down below 60% health. So it's hard to avoid that first Whirlwind. It just really is. So I think you're going to lose 1 character no matter what. But this strategy avoided losing 2 or 3 characters, which he did in some of his previous battles. So I think it worked out very well. I like First Order Special Forces TIE Pilot because, okay, you get speed up, as you can see here. Speed up for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, who is extremely fast, is obviously a good thing. And then he can also call Supreme Leader Kylo Ren to assist and get an extra stun in there to kind of help control the sides if needed, give Kylo some extra damage there. So I'm not saying it's the best option, but it's an option that I really like. And that's kind of what is showcased here because of the ones we tried in tier 5, again I say we, it was all him. The one he tried in tier 5, that was the most successful. So you can try tier 5, you only get the rewards once. So you can try it over and over again after that. So worked out very well right there. So on to tier 6. So this is the devil right here. Oh my goodness. This is pretty frustrating, really. But again, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren lead. Oh man, this is just rough. So we went with the same strategy. Again, maybe it's not the best strategy. There's going to be some things that we can do differently, and we're gonna have to improve. But this is just really, really rough here. And I'll just kind of let it play in the background while I vent on top of that. So he got the stuns pretty well off the start. It actually didn't look like it was going too poorly. So Hux is going to flip turn meter over to Supreme Leader Kylo. He's going to reset that resets his ability, so he gets a second stun in there. Get some assists from Sith Trooper that way. Obviously, Rey's going to get her whirlwind in here fairly quick, but I thought is okay. You prevent any damage from the sides, any of their abilities. We can burst Rey down. That's the thought. At this point here, I'm watching this. I'm thinking, okay, doesn't really look too bad. So, by the way, we target Finn. You can target either Finn or Poe on that AOE because you can siphon from them. Rey does not lose stats from the siphon. She's immune to that. Plus, you get double siphon if they're stunned. So again, like right here, looking pretty good. Okay, she got the damage immunity, but we got her down there fairly quick. And then honestly, it all kind of falls apart right here. Maybe it would have gone better if it had well, honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. I was kind of debating whether it was good that Crew got taken out or whether we should try to funnel that to somebody else somehow. I don't even know. Got Finn stunned over there, but then Rey is just so good. And what I'm worried about here is that this event, because this event was not supposed to be hard, according to the devs, that this event, as long as you meet the recommended requirements, this should be an easy event. Well, he's only missing 6 total relic levels amongst this group. So this is not quite maxed out, but it's pretty high up there. And now maybe we're not using the best strategy, but this isn't like playing it stupid or anything like that. This cost a lot of tickets to be able to run, and it's not something like, okay, a lot of events you can play it over and over, and you can play it 30 times until you get the right RNG, and you can work on developing the right strategy, that type of thing. You can't do that here. Each attempt is very, very expensive, and it gets very frustrating when it's not even close. And I don't know, maybe we should just bite the bullet and take out Finn and Poe on the side. I don't know, and maybe try to do it all at once so that it only triggers one whirlwind. Honestly, I can think of some ways to try and improve this, or some different things to try, but each attempt is so expensive. And my concern is that I would like to see how difficult the Rey side of the event is, because I wonder if that's a lot easier, and that we'll see if that happens. If that's the case, my fear is that these characters are supposed to be balanced and in sync with each other, and Rey is just so much better than Kylo. That's what the early returns are saying, that Rey is much better than Kylo, which is exactly what we thought when we read the kits. We thought that Rey looked a lot better than Kylo, because Rey doesn't have any trade-offs. There's no negatives. Kylo has too many negatives that make it hard to synergize with characters, on top of other things as well. But I wonder if these characters are meant to be balanced, and tier 6 is way too hard because they simply aren't balanced. And maybe if Rey and Kylo were more even, that would be a more fair matchup. But not only does Rey seem like a better character to begin with, she gets the better buff in this event. So the buff for Kylo uses up a turn to use. So you get plus 50% damage, you can't be targeted, you can't be defeated. But I mean, you waste an attack to do that. So when you think the plus 50% damage, you think, okay, I want to give Kylo that bonus damage. But then you're wasting a siphon stat or something like that by giving up your turn to do that. So I don't know if that's that great. Whereas Rey's ability is just a passive ability that gives a flat boost in stats as the battle goes on. It seems to be a far superior ability. So a better character plus a better ability, and you can see why we're struggling in this event. Now it is 5 versus 3, I guess, and in that terms. But I don't know. Obviously, tier 6 can be done. As much as I'll criticize CG, I can't believe they would release a battle or an event where they weren't beating tier 6 in their testing and beating it reliably. Because obviously, it's not like previous events where, okay, if you tried 1 out of 20 times, there was nothing wrong with that. That was actually okay if you had to. And I guess that's debatable whether that was okay or not. But it wasn't the end of the world if you had to try 20 times to actually win the battle. Here, everything is so expensive, so that really adds on to the frustration. But I have to believe that they were reliably beating this in testing. So we will find the right combo, the right mods, the right relics needed, and we will get through this. But the quote from the devs about this not being intended to be about them not intending for this event to be as difficult as previous events is certainly not looking very good right now. That I have a hard time believing this is not going to be a difficult event, because we're already seeing that it is. So anyways, again, I've got a second video coming later today, so there's definitely going to be at least one more video from me on Kylo. I'm hoping to have a whole lot more videos, so be sure to like and subscribe. That's the best way you can help me if you want me to continue making these things. And again, huge shout out to Jitsu Jet. I can't thank him enough times. He's been amazing through all of this. I'm sure he's getting swamped with all sorts of discussions from people, and yet he's still managing to get me this footage. So thank you very much for doing that. I will see you guys here in a couple of minutes. Okay. That's being optimistic, thinking it's only going to take me a couple minutes to put together my next video. But later tonight, you will see me again with video number 2. So thank you very much. See you guys soon.